what you know about purification to save the heart of a nation. Let burn a talking wood, bringing light to a talking wood. Natural law, just wisdom and love, vision truth below as a bird. Let burn a talking wood, let burn a talking wood.
Welcome to the Affirm Life Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Cynthia Mitchell. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I have a very special guest. We are going to get into some energy healing, people. I'm telling you, it's going to be good. I feel the energy already. So let me introduce this beautiful educator and manifester and energy healer. Her name is Tiffany Monroe. She is the founder and CEO of Healing Hands Reiki and Spiritual Development, Inc. in Atlanta. She is an experienced meditation facilitator and Reiki master teacher. Her expertise in science and education helps her to fully appreciate the application of Reiki, yoga, and meditation as vital energy models for healing. Tiffany has taken on vital roles in the organization to facilitate an expression of healing within the community. It's all about community. Her ability to teach and hold space for others provides an opportunity for her to help others become in tune with their inborn abilities to heal and to live in balance. Welcome, Tiffany. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much, Cynthia, for having me.
Yes, thank you for being on, because this I feel like all the things we're going to be covering are things that are becoming, that used to not be so mainstream, that are very mainstream now.
Yeah.
And I think as much information is out there, a lot of it is misinformation as well.
Right.
So people are looking for clarity. They want to understand this. My mom actually recently started getting Reiki, and I've been interested in Reiki, but I really, honestly, I know it's healing, but I don't know why. So first, do you want to say anything kind of to introduce yourself at all?
Well, you said a lot. I am Tiffany Monroe. I am based here in the Atlanta metro area, and I am the founder and CEO of Healing Hands Reiki and Spiritual Development Incorporated. We are a Georgia 501c3 nonprofit, and our mission is to help others participate in their own healing. We do that through offering Reiki classes, private Reiki sessions, yoga classes, meditation classes, and other conscious living classes, ultimately to help you participate in your own healing. It was placed on my heart in 2017 to start this nonprofit here in the Atlanta metro area, because back then, it's hard to believe, we did not have so many avenues for personal growth, for healing, for spiritual development. Few and far between in the Atlanta metro area back in 2017. And so it was really placed on my heart. And a lot of prodding. I had a lot of support from my husband and from family and from friends to start this as a nonprofit. And we started off small, very, very small. And we've grown since then. And it's all due to the wonderful support that we receive from viewers and donors like yourself. So I'm immensely appreciative, and I have so much gratitude and love in my heart, because even throughout COVID, we had people still supporting our mission and our vision. And it's so vital and so important, especially now, to have these avenues available to us to grow, to develop, not just spiritually, but emotionally, mentally, physically. So that's my whole goal. I live it. It's my life's purpose. It's part of my destiny. And so it shall be.
Well, before I start in with the questions, tell people how they can support you or find out more information about what you do in your facility.
Right. So we, of course, are on all social media. Healing Hands Reiki ATL is our handle for every social media. Our webpage is healinghandsreiki.org. We are also located at advertised classes on the Mind Body app. You can just look up Healing Hands Reiki,
Okay.
ATL, and you'll see us pop up. Eventbrite, we have events listed. So typically every Sunday, I offer a sound bath and restorative yoga session, a 2-hour session. They receive a
Oh,
distant Reiki treatment with this 2-hour session. That's every Sunday
wow.
from 1 to
Ooh,
3.
I gotta
Yeah.
head down there. That sounded real good.
every
That sounded real
every
nice.
yeah, every first and second Saturday we have a free vinyasa flow class along with distant
What's
Reiki healing towards the end. You say
what's
what?
the
Vinyasa flow is a form of yoga. It's a
Oh,
yoga sequence. Yes, yes.
okay.
So we offer that along with distant Reiki healing. Every fourth Saturday, we
Okay.
offer Reiki Share, which is available to all Reiki practitioners, all levels, all lineages, people who are interested in becoming Reiki practitioners. They can come on in and receive a Reiki treatment in a group setting. So that's a wonderful experience for people who are just, they want to step their toe
Yeah.
in and see what's
Take a little
going
toe.
on.
Take a little toe.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay. Okay.
Every third Saturday of the month, I'm either teaching a Reiki level 1 training course, level 2 or level 3 training course.
Okay.
We actually have a level 1 training course this Saturday, or
Okay.
I am offering the Healing Psychic Fair. That is our quarterly fundraiser. Our next one will be the third Saturday of January. And we are located right downtown, right off of Edgewood, 27 Waddell Street.
Okay.
Um,
So nice central
beautiful,
location.
beautiful, beautiful central location. If you know where the Slutty Vegan is on Edgewood, or where the Revolution Donuts is, we're right there, right across the street
Okay.
from Revolution Donuts, maybe 2 blocks down from Slutty Vegan. So we're
Okay.
right there in the mix of things and available to everyone in the community.
Yeah.
Like I said, as a source for healing and growth. So
Yes. That's beautiful. That's amazing. So please, all of you that are on here and that'll watch this in the future after I post, and I will post all the links, necessary links to be able to get in contact with Tiffany and, book, a Reiki session and all that good stuff when I post this. But definitely support. We have to support things like this, or that's how they disappoint. They're like, oh, there's nothing out here healing. There's nothing out here holistic.
right.
We have to support the things that are out there. So I encourage you all to support, and I will be supporting myself as well. So let's get into it. So my first question is a very general question. What is energy healing and what is Reiki?
So we have forgotten how to tap into universal life force energy around us.
Yes.
We are alive because of this universal life force energy. And due to our daily schedules, you know my schedule, I just told you,
Yes. Yes.
right? Our daily schedules, people that we interact with, the mindset that we keep, what we put into our bodies, not just food, what we look at, right? What we listen to, all of that content coming in pulls us further away from our divine state where we are connected to nature, being able to tap into that universal life force energy. So Reiki, if you break that down in Japanese, it's universal energy, like
Okay.
prana or chi or
Okay.
ki, right?
Yes.
So when you're receiving a Reiki treatment, a Reiki practitioner is working as a conduit to transmit that healing life force energy around us into your body for
Okay.
purposes of healing. And
Okay.
excuse me, this healing can be done on many different levels, a mental level, spiritual, emotional, physical level. It can transcend past, present, and future when you're
Mm.
working with various Reiki symbols and mantras, where you begin to heal a generational source of trauma, right? You heal in the future, you heal in the present, you heal in the past.
Mm.
This Reiki is universal. There is no beginning, there is no end. It just is. And when we put ourselves outside of our natural state of healing, our natural divine self, disconnected from nature,
Yeah.
our energy becomes stagnant within our
Mm.
body. And stagnant energy quite often can manifest in many physical ways. Let's
Okay.
say you have excessive thinking or intrusive thought that can manifest into, migraines, headaches, what have you. And so when someone receives a Reiki treatment, this universal life force energy comes into your body and it clears out that stagnant energy, balances and aligns your chakras, your main energy centers,
Okay.
so you can heal yourself. You're placed in a very relaxing state. And when you're in that relaxing state, that is when you're most prone to being able to heal yourself. So the Reiki practitioner is not doing the healing, they're assisting you in your ability to naturally heal.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So when you're getting a Reiki session,
Yeah.
is it focused to say like, okay, I want to work on this certain physical ailment, or I want to work on this particular maybe emotional problem I'm having, or is
Mhm.
it just like, or is it just more overall healing,
So
or
quite
both?
often, my clients will come in and they will express a concern in a particular area of their body, whether it's a physical concern, like, oh, my back hurts, or,
Yeah.
oh, I'm having neck problems, or I have a constant migraines, right? And I'll take a scan of their body, an energetic scan of their body, and see what I pick up, right? Sometimes it could be that they manifested stagnant energy in the crown chakra due to whatever reason, and it's manifesting as, let's say, migraines or what have you. But when I
Okay.
do the scan, the Boysen scanning, where I'm scanning their energetic body, I'm picking up more stagnant energy in lower chakras. It's almost
Okay.
as if you're clogging a pipe. When a
Oh,
pipe gets clogged, you can't have the water flow through. So if you have stagnant energy in lower chakras, then that energy can't rise. That Kundalini energy can't rise to your higher chakras, and so it manifests, and it can manifest in a physical way.
okay.
So I'll do a scan, based on a pre-consultation of what they're
Okay.
telling me. We sit down and have a talk, a discussion,
Okay.
and then I'll do a voice and scanning where I'm scanning their energy. Usually I do it with my hands or my eyes. And I look at what I pick up. Sometimes I'm led to use my pendulum or other, tools of divination to pick up on their energetic imbalances. And then I will start the Reiki treatment. Quite often, people just simply fall asleep. They're so relaxed. They feel like, oh, it felt like I floated off somewhere, right? I didn't want to come back.
Yeah.
they're, they're placed in a very relaxed state. And I typically pick up on a lot of things that are under the surface of
Gotcha.
what's really going on. Sometimes it could be a generational thing. Sometimes it could be an ancestral thing, right? So I'm picking up on a lot of not just surface level, but below the surface level
Oh,
reasons as to why they came in to seek help. And then
got
after the actual Reiki treatment, there's a post consultation where I talk about, let them know where I detected energetic imbalances in their body. I give them techniques to heal, whether it's certain foods or crystals or aromas that they can use, mantras, musical notes, affirmations, yoga asanas that they can use to heal the stagnant energy in a particular area chakra of their body. Yeah.
okay. That sounds fantastic. Like now I'm really excited. I can't wait to experience this myself. I know when my mom got it, she had, because I didn't, she's older, you're like, she ain't
Mhm.
gonna really take it. She absolutely loves Reiki. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I'm very excited. So besides just healing kind of or working on, the specific things that
Mhm.
people are coming to you for, are there overarching benefits, other benefits, and how long typically
Absolutely.
do the benefits last?
Absolutely. Their overall benefits, not just immediate benefits. Quite often, when this Reiki energy comes in and begins to clear away stagnant energy, quite often they have aha moments, realizations as to, that's why I get triggered when I'm placed in this situation, or that's why I react this way when I'm around this person. Maybe I should try something different. So that's where the Reiki energy is working on more of a mental, emotional level, where it helps them to actually change the way that they function in their current life for better. So they're aligned with their destiny, right?
Oh,
And the effects of Reiki can be long lasting.
mm,
Some people will come for a treatment once a week. Some people will come once a month. Some people will come once a year. I really tell my clientele, listen to your body, tap into
okay.
your body, and see how you feel. What do you feel that you need? Because everybody's different. Everybody's
Yeah.
situation is different. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's amazing. So you had mentioned earlier on about generational healing, because there's a lot of talk now too about ancestral healing
Mhm.
and like that. So can you kind of explain what ancestral healing is and why it's so important?
You remember when you were little and your mom or your dad or your grandma told you to do something, you didn't really understand why, you just did it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And then as you got older, you began to question, and you think like,
Hmm.
why am I doing this? Why do we do this in our family? Why is this always happening
Yeah.
in our
Yeah.
family? Why is this always happening with the women in our family, or the men, or the children in
Yeah.
our family? And then you begin to, dare I say, be bold enough to ask why, and you
Yeah.
get shut down,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
That could be an indication that there's something generational wise that's going on.
Okay.
So trauma exists on all levels. Everybody has experienced trauma. If
Yeah.
it's not trauma in their adulthood, it's trauma in their childlike state. It's trauma that they've carried in coming through the womb during birth trauma, right? And then
Right.
there's also generational trauma, where trauma could have happened to a great, 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 great grandmother or grandfather. We have no idea who they are, what they look
Right.
like. They're part of
Yeah.
our bloodline,
Yeah.
right? And that trauma gets stored in our bodies,
Okay.
right? Your body keeps the score.
So is
You
it
may
like
not
stored? You feel
remember.
like it's sort of like your DNA, or
Stores in your DNA, stores in the fascia, stores in your muscles, stores in your bones, stores in your skin. All
that's
right.
deep. That's
Your
deep.
DNA is like a microchip. It can hold a lot of information
Yeah.
from the very beginning of time, the very first mother and father, until you sitting right there in front of your screen.
Right.
And when trauma happens in a lineage of people, right, it's stored in that bloodline, it's stored in the DNA. So when you decide to come on back in this physical state, in
Yeah.
this dimension, and you inherit that bloodline, you inherit that DNA, you inherit those, then those ways begin to manifest in the physical,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
that trauma traveling through a bloodline.
Wow.
Whether it's a trauma of abandonment,
Mm.
sexual trauma,
Mm.
spiritual trauma, trauma of loneliness, trauma of a negative mind state where you're always complaining, you always see the worst, right? You
Yeah.
have to at some point be bold enough to start asking some questions. Well, why do I react this way? Why did my mom or my sister or my aunt or my grandma or my brother or my uncle or my dad or my grandfather react that certain way?
Right.
Why
Right.
is there a lineage of alcoholism? Why is there a lineage of sexual abuse? Why is there a lineage of lack of money?
Mm.
It's trauma through your bloodline.
Wow.
And quite often, that comes up within the pre-consultation.
Okay.
Simply by scanning certain chakra areas and understanding, those chakra areas, what they represent esoterically and physically and in your everyday present life, understanding how that manifests in your world. For example, the root chakra, right? We know it. Oh, the color red.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Right.
What does that really mean? That's the color red is really a wavelength of light, an energy. It's an energy. You just happen to see it because you were born as a human with a retina who can detect visible light spectrum, right? But
Right.
that root chakra is the first chakra that begins to develop in early embryonic development, right? That's where a lot of that birth trauma starts, where we're inheriting it from prior generations. And that
Gotcha.
can manifest as it governs your root chakra. The energy of your root chakra governs your foundation. It represents your foundation in life. Are you grounded in your goals? Are you grounded in your career? Are you grounded in your family? Or are you the black sheep or the flighty one, right?
Right.
Are you grounded in your finances? It represents a foundation.
Okay.
As you develop in the womb, early in embryonic development, you implant in that uterus. You have to be grounded enough to stay planted in that uterus so you can grow and develop into a baby and eventually be birthed out, right?
Right.
Fertilized eggs that are not grounded into that uterus simply get passed on out in the menses. So a lack of groundedness in your life.
Uh-oh. Got it. You froze there on
Lack
us.
of
Okay, there you
a
go.
lack of foundation. Oh, lack of foundation in your finances. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it froze for a second. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It can manifest as a lack of foundation in your finances, your relationship with your family and friends, a lack of foundation in your career. Right? So that's something that we can work on. There are healing practices to help you identify, recognize, identify what's going on and do something about it. So within the Reiki session that you get with Healing Hands Reiki ATL, we help you to recognize the imbalance of energy in your body or on the spirit level or soul level or the generational trauma coming in. You learn how to recognize that. Okay. And you learn how to heal that. Like, what do you do? It's one thing to recognize that, oh, okay, that
Right. What do
exists.
you
But
do
then
about it?
what
Right.
do you do? What do you do? So now we teach clientele certain skills in order for them to continue their journey of healing. Because ultimately, honestly, I don't want to have everybody always coming back.
Yeah.
Eventually, I want you to get to a point where you're able to heal yourself.
Yeah.
You're self-sufficient, you're self-reliant,
Yeah.
right? So
Right.
that's the ultimate goal. We help you participate in it's your own healing.
So how do we start to decipher things that are just maybe a bad habit that we watched our mom do versus an ancestral trauma? You know what I mean? Because I mean,
Right.
I definitely have noticed, cases with people that weren't even raised by their family members or close with their family members, and they still had certain traumas that were very evident, even though they weren't physically in the presence of those people. So, I mean, I definitely believe 100% that exists, but I guess it can be maybe hard to decipher what may, like I said, just be a bad habit, or okay, I just watched my mom do this for forever, now I'm doing it, as opposed to like a real ancestral trauma.
Well, when you begin to observe things in your life taking place or a family member's life taking place, and it's not for their betterment, it's for their demise. It doesn't help them grow. It helps them stay stagnant, right? Then you should be able to, you should be at the point where we're questioning, okay, this is not in alignment with my destiny or with their destiny. They're not growing. They're not expanding, right? The mind is not changing to fit a higher consciousness state. They're not evolving. And how do you even recognize when you or a loved one is not evolving? You have to take time to be observant. Sometimes you got to disconnect from the social media or disconnect from certain people.
Absolutely.
To become aware of the trauma. A lot of times we don't see the things that are right in front of our face. We have to take a step back, right? And survey the land. And in that surveying of the land, that's where you begin to connect with nature.
Yes.
I have a very good friend who has started to connect with nature during the nighttime, connect with the animals. He's taken a step back away from social media, away from interacting with the, certain people, and he's immersed himself in nature to the point where he will actually take walks at night in the woods.
Ooh.
Connecting with, I know, right? Connecting with that energy of silence, right? Appreciating that silent nature and that silent solitude time where, you begin to connect with your higher self. You can't really connect with your higher self if you're disconnecting and being influenced in other aspects. You see what I'm saying? Yes. You have to give yourself time to disconnect from what is distracting you so that you can connect to your higher self, because that's where you get those downloads. Whether you say higher self, source, ascended masters, orishas, okay, ancestors. You got to have that quiet time, meditative time. Whether your meditative time is walking in the woods or actual sitting on the mat, silent meditation, or drawing or singing, where you zone in, you yoke your mind with your higher self. So it's yoga for me. That's my meditative time. And you receive this information, this download from either higher self, source, ancestors, orishas, what have you. And that begins to open certain mental pathways where you can begin to observe and recognize these patterns, not just in yourself, but in others.
Yeah.
So quite often I'll tell my clients, well, when do you just sit in silence? When do you take time for self?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, a lot of people don't do that really ever. It's always constant motion or constant communication or constant something. It's got to be constant.
Yeah.
Some sort of outlet stimulation. Like I just, you can kind of see it, I think, in the background. I just bought this, the copper pyramid to do meditating. So I've meditated under a few times now, and I absolutely love it. But I like to meditate, and I garden and stuff like that. And I had, when you were talking about connection to nature, where you get those ahas. I recently had a trip to Arizona, and me and my girlfriend, we went on a hike, a sunset hike, and boy, after that, it was just like aha. Like I just had all these information just flooded me. I was like, oh my gosh, that was, it was just such a spiritual experience. And I really wasn't, I knew it would be a great experience, but I wasn't expecting so much information to come to me right after. So no, I'm 100% with you on that.
We forget that we are nature. We are part of nature.
We like to think
so think about those elements, connecting with the earth through gardening. For some people it's gardening, literally putting their hands in the dirt, connecting with the earth. For some people is going to a river and just dipping their feet or their hands in the river or the ocean. The meditative state that you go in, that trance that you go in when you're sitting right there at the ocean, right? For other people, literally standing in the wind and a strong wind coming over. So you're connecting with nature, right? That's our genuine, authentic, our true, our original self.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, that's when you begin to receive those downloads. For some people, they're able to connect in their dreams. Right.
Yeah, I'm with that too. My dreams. I am a dreamer. So
That's
absolutely.
that's that ether state. The ether state where you're connecting in the dreams.
Do you have any tips? I have such a hard time remembering my dreams. Do you have any tips to help remember dreams?
Yeah. So my dreams are like Technicolor. Let me tell you. Before you it's like before you go to sleep, right? Turn off your electronics.
Okay.
Right? Phone, all of that. Very dark room. Before you go to sleep, focus on either a color or a number or a word as you're falling asleep. If you can focus on that color, number, or word as you're falling asleep and retain that in the dream state, it helps you to remember your dreams coming back. That's like your tether coming back.
Oh, I like that. Okay, I've never heard of that technique. I'm gonna try that tonight. I like that.
It could be very simple. It could be, oh, my goal in my dream tonight is to see something red. See something red. See something red. And the red as you're falling asleep, right? And then during your dream, it could be a Technicolor dream. It could be very symbolic where you wake up and you're like, I don't understand anything that went down in my dream, but I remember I saw a red ball.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That dream state is really astral projection, astral travel. So for some people, they have to develop up to that state. And I'll tell clientele, have a goal of something that you want to see right before you fall asleep. Right? Focus on that right before. Or let's say if you want to, a little bit more advanced, if you want to contact or you're trying to contact a certain ancestral energy or something like that, I'll say, well, man, my mom's, she's deceased. She passed away when I was 28 back in 2008. And sometimes, I miss her and I want to talk to her. I want to see her. And I'll focus on like an image of her face. Or my mom used to love wearing white diamond perfume, right? Okay. So I would spray it on my covers or something. Just to remind me. And like she had like scarves that she would wear around. I'll put the scarf on, right? And I'll fall asleep. And inevitably, I'll tell you, it never fails. She comes to me with a message, a prophetic message in my dream.
This is some gems. Okay, I'm gonna be trying all of this. I'm gonna be doing all the techniques all at once. I love these techniques. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and you play around with it because you got to really see what works for you.
Yeah.
Dreams may not work for some people, right? Maybe it's crystals. Maybe they're able to connect to that higher self, that higher energy, a higher consciousness state, and receive those downloads utilizing certain crystals.
Okay.
So some people can have Oregon energy crystals or pyramids, right, on their nightstand, or in their pillow, like one of those palm stones in their pillow. A clear quartz is really good in terms of manifesting. Yeah, manifesting. Okay. Amethyst.
I'm gonna write that down.
Clear quartz.
Okay.
Clear quartz, amethyst, black tourmaline for protection. If you're feeling like weighted down, like a heavy negative energy, you can place black tourmaline in the four corners of your room and by your nightstand. You could put pieces of black tourmaline or smoky quartz or obsidian or jet under your pillow, right, for protection. Or if you wear socks to bed, you could put pieces of those crystals in the socks. I love to have my hair in a bun, so sometimes I'll put my little crystal in my
I
hair
like that.
and, and go to sleep. So it could be crystals
Okay.
that you connect with. Other people, it could be spiritual baths. They may be into, well, I like to take a bath before I go to bed to get into that meditative state. So
Yeah.
really be conscious and aware of the herbs that you use in your spiritual bath,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
There's a good book by Scott Cunningham. What is it called? The Complete Book of Incense, Oils, and Brews. And he also has the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. I'm looking at my little library here,
Oh, okay.
right?
That
He
sounds
has,
really
yes,
good.
by Scott Cunningham, and he has a whole list
You
of
said his name is
herbs and
Scott Cunningham?
Cunningham. He has a whole list of herbs, their spiritual properties, if those herbs are masculine or feminine,
Mm.
right? So you can use that to
Wow.
use that as a reference to figure out, well, what herb do I want to take? Do I want to work on manifestation in my dream state or just in my wake state? And I want to do this through a spiritual bath. What herbs can I use for manifestation? Or what herbs can I use for protection? Or what herbs can I use for cleansing? So
Mm.
herbs might be your thing, right?
Yeah. I'm
For
very
other
interested.
people,
Just dropping
it,
gems. I'm loving this.
it For other people, it could be certain aromas, and they're into essential oils, right? And you can burn these essential oils in a diffuser, so it's diffused throughout your entire house, and
Mm.
the energy or vibratory frequency of those aromas begins to align with your body. Then it begins to amplify. You become aligned with that energy. So
Mm.
you got to really,
Oh, I like
it's
this.
almost like a scientific method approach. You got to figure
Yeah.
out what works for you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love it. And I'm glad you brought up manifestation because that was my next question. Because I mean, I feel like that's one of the main areas where there's so much misinformation. I mean, you got people out here saying, just do
Mm-hmm.
like this, and you have manifested now. You'll be a millionaire when you wake up in the morning. So, from your perspective, how does
Yeah.
manifestation work for real?
The number one thing is your intent, the mindset, right?
Yes.
And I can give you a real world example of the way I met my husband and the way he met me. In Atlanta, you get tired of that whole dating scene. You want to settle down. So about 12, 13 years ago, I sat and I wrote down in my journal. And that's something I hate to do. I hate to journal because I'm like, I grade papers all day long. I don't want to write anything
Right.
else.
Like I'm done.
But something just told me higher self, right? In a meditative state, I got that message to journal, and I followed what grandma said, your first mind. And I
Mm-hmm.
journaled the type of person I wanted in my life. Very specific,
Okay.
right?
Right.
And I would read it every night before I went to bed. And I had to have a positive mindset that it would manifest. After so many failed relationships, right? This
Right.
will manifest. Connecting the energy behind the emotion of already feeling that gratitude of receiving it before you even have it. You have to align your energy,
Yeah.
right, to the frequency of what you want. And that's all in the mindset. Lo and behold, this was April 2011, August 2011, we met.
Wow.
April, May, June, July, 4 months later. And eventually when, I got married and we moved together,
Yeah.
I found his binder.
Uh-huh.
He was doing the same thing. Like
Same
he had
thing. And yes.
dated entries
Wow.
of these, like manifesting what he wanted in a wife. And
Yeah.
when you matched up the dates, I kid you not, Cynthia, you match up the dates, they were the same time frame.
That's amazing. It's beautiful.
Look,
It's like sometimes it's like the universe is just like such a beautiful little symphony. It's just, oh,
yeah,
that's beautiful.
yeah.
I love it.
And what they say, what they say in Living Color say, we still together.
Together. That is awesome. I love that because them
Yeah,
intentions, I think we forget how
yeah.
powerful our intentions are.
We forget how powerful we are. Period.
Period. You're right, because we are always manifesting, but usually subconsciously.
Mhm. Even
Yeah.
subconsciously, you have to think about what you think is what you're going to say. What you say, what comes out of your mouth is a spell. So what comes out of your mouth, right, is
Yeah.
what will manifest. When you say, man, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to get that. You're right. You're never going to get it because that's what you're manifesting. But when
Yeah.
you say, I have everything that I need, the energy of what I need for right now is already with me. Right.
Yeah.
When you speak those positive affirmations and you align your energy, it's almost like you have to be crazy to have that energy where you're like, I know I have this, like I have this, and you don't see it. It's nowhere in your pocket. It's not on your desk, but you keep telling yourself, I know I have this,
Yes.
with that vigor, that
Yes.
emotion, with that intent. It starts with intent. It starts with your mindset.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah,
does.
I love that you brought up gratitude because I've really been trying to focus so much more on that. Like every
Mm-hmm.
morning before I get out of bed, I, say verbally out loud all the
Yeah.
things I've done before, and then I've started doing it now at night when I get in the bed, doing it again, everything that I'm grateful for because
Yeah.
I know it's such a big part of bringing those
Mm-hmm.
things to my life, and then just showing the universe that you truly are grateful,
You're
that you
right.
truly appreciate
Yeah.
what you already do
And
have. Because why would
and
the universe be giving you more? You don't even appreciate what you got.
you're right. You're right. You're
Right.
absolutely right. And you have to understand, you have to be grateful for the good and the bad.
Yes, because everything can be a blessing because you can learn from the bad. You can grow.
Absolutely.
You can grow.
What
Yeah.
we call bad, that's just an opportunity for growth,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Society has conditioned us to think and to feel that when something bad happens to us, it's
Right.
all doom and gloom. No, you could have been saved from something. Just
Right.
because you didn't get that job or that person or that car or that house or that opportunity or that money, you could have
Right.
been saved. You don't see what's down the road.
That's
You could have
true.
been saved from something.
That is
And
very true.
understanding, it's an art form to understand and know how to transform and transfix negative into positive. That's
Yeah.
a true alchemist.
Yeah.
Something negative happens to you,
Patience.
you
True.
respond with gratitude,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
respond with gratitude, you respond with thankgivingness, because that negative energy doesn't know what to do. Well, what is she? What?
Right.
What? You shouldn't be What are you talking about?
Why you
Grateful.
taking me?
Right. That
Right.
confuses the enemy. You
Yes. Yes.
transform
Ooh,
it
I love
by responding in a gratitude state.
Yes.
So that's something that's got to be learned, because like I said, we're socially conditioned to shut down
Yes.
and diminish our energy, disconnect from our natural state, fall off of our path and road to destiny when something quote unquote negative happens to us.
Yeah. No,
Energy isn't
I
energy
agree.
isn't positive or negative. Energy just is. It just is.
Yeah.
Right?
And then
So
it's what
we
we do with
gotta change the way we think about things.
it. Yeah, that's deep. So that, I guess that kind of leads into my final question for you. So what tips or what things can people do kind of on a day-to-day basis to help them be more mindful and conscious of what they are manifesting and how they are, kind of using their energy?
Yeah, you said the key word, mindful. Approach your day as soon as you wake up in a mindful state. From the time you roll out of bed or fall out of bed or jump out of bed and you
Yeah.
plant your feet on the floor, you know,
Yeah.
be mindful of the fact that I have a floor to put my feet on.
Yeah.
I have feet that I could put on the floor that I have. And
Yeah.
just take a moment and exist in that space of gratitude simply by waking up. How many times do we wake up, turn off the alarm, and just jump up and just start our day instead of being grateful for our first breath? Take a moment to give yourself time to meditate, whether it's 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, as soon as you wake up, being mindful of an opportunity to be grateful.
Yeah.
As you take your shower and brush your teeth, being mindful of those activities. That's actually meditation
Yeah. Sure.
in
Yeah.
work. Now this is a hard one at work. Being
Yeah.
mindful when people are all in your face,
Right.
right? And you're being pulled in every direction.
Yeah.
Be mindful of how you respond to that. Does your body clench up? Do you become very tense, full of anxiety? Are you able to unattach yourself from what's going on the outside and maintain your center? It takes practice to be mindful in every aspect of your day. Now, are we still human? Of course. Will people poke the bear? Of course. Will the bear respond sometimes? Of course. But
Yeah.
always come back to your center,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Be mindful of that. When you come home from whatever you're doing, before you go to bed, be mindful of the fact that I have an opportunity to connect with my higher self. It's all about changing the way you think about things. So when you're triggered throughout your day, right?
Yeah.
Be mindful of how your body feels. Sometimes when I get triggered, I'm like, I can't take it back to Detroit. I can't take it back to Gary, Indiana, right? I have to be
Yeah.
professional, right?
Right.
But
Right.
I'm
Right.
mindful of how I feel in my body when I'm triggered.
Yeah.
And for me, it helps me to connect with my breath. Because
Yes.
that's something I can
A
control.
lot.
Nobody else can control my breath.
Right.
If I can connect with my breath and detach from what's going on around me to maintain my center, right? I've
Right.
elevated just a little bit higher in my conscious state
Yes.
because at that point I'm in control of myself. Nobody else is controlling my emotions.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that answer. I love that mindfulness and. So I'm sure some of y'all have questions. Do we have any questions for Tiffany? Because she is obviously a wealth of information. So I just want to make sure if anyone has any questions, we can answer them for you. No questions? Okay. Well, I appreciate this so much. This was phenomenal. Like, I got my little notes here. I'm gonna watch this right back. I'm gonna try some of these techniques today. This was some phenomenal information. I really love it. It was really helpful. And I think this is gonna help a lot of people when they watch this. And it'll be posted on YouTube very soon, very quickly. I got my little editing down a little better now. So I'll get this posted on YouTube very soon because this is helpful information. Because like you said, we, as a collective, as conscious beings, as spiritual beings, we gotta get that connection back with our energy, with and all those things. So your beautiful soul and your beautiful spirit is out here helping people, and it is received with gratitude and love. And thank you so much for joining me on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Cynthia. You are doing awesome work.
Thank you.
You are a warrior out here in these streets, and you and you are doing the same. It's hard work, and I want to thank you for reaching out to me and welcoming me onto your channel. This is an awesome opportunity. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I show you gratitude,
Oh,
for what you're doing for the community as well, what you're helping others to develop in themselves. So kudos to you as well.
you. I appreciate that so much. And all the viewers, please visit the website, affirmlifedaily.com. Follow on social media at Affirm Life Daily. Your support is needed to get these messages out here. We have to help each other as a community, as a human family.
Yeah.
We have to support each other and be there for one another and lift each other up. And that's how we'll do it, one person at a time. So have a wonderful night, Tiffany. And I really want to have you back on again so I want to pick one of these topics and just dive deep into it. So I
Yeah.
definitely want to have you on again really soon. But love, grace, and gratitude to you, and have a wonderful night. And thank you all for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Peace and blessings, and everybody have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Bye-bye.